Hi there, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is your new How Do They Feel About You Pick a Card reading. Loads of you have been asking for this, but I was just waiting until I felt like it was the right time to deliver it. So you've got cards 1, 2 and 3 in front of you. Take a deep breath. Wow, that feels good. And then just see which pile you're drawn to. Not particularly decide upon, but which pile your intuition draws you to. Now this reading is for twin flames, soulmates, whatever it is. I haven't looked at any of the cards yet. So when you know which one you're drawn to, 1, 2 or 3, go to the description box, which is just the little arrow that's on the right hand side underneath the title. Click on that and you will find the timestamp for your card 1, 2 or 3. Okay, and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Okay, so you chose pile number 1. Let's have a look for you. I'm excited because I haven't actually seen any of these. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, right. Move that to one side. This is getting myself comfortable, people. Make yourself comfortable too, because I can see that from pile number 1, the question of how someone feels about you has been an uncomfortable question. This is, I suppose, what we might call complicated. It has highs and it has lows. It's a bit of a roller coaster. There is a lot of what is not being said, okay, in this relationship. We've got 3 cards here in the reverse and 1 in the upright in terms of the tarot cards. So I've got the High Priestess here in the reverse, and the High Priestess is your own, probably feminine intuition. What has that been telling you? Because there seems to be a bit of a competition here between what your brain and your rationality is telling you and what your absolute inner core High Priestess is telling you. Your intuition, your feeling, your kind of whatever that is, okay? Your Am I really calling it a I am, because there are no words for the place where this comes from. I know we call it intuition, but that in itself, I always feel doesn't quite cover it. But you know what it is in your own body, okay? Where you feel that that's where you know how this person feels about you. You've been giving it a lot of thought. You've been doing a lot of talking to your friends. You've been analysing it. That's not going to get you there. What that does do is keeps you trapped in a negative manifesting cycle of, well, you know, did they say this? Did they say that? I'm not really sure. And did they mean that by that? And I know they said, and that's just one way to blow your head open. Over here as well, we've got the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. There is some kind of imbalance in this relationship, or there has been. For some of you, this is a recent ex. And the trouble, I'm going to put it in little inverted commas, you may have been keeping count. You may have been feeling like, you know, well, I texted them 3 times and they came back to me once, and I gave them this, that and the other, and they only gave me this. It feels like there has been genuinely, you know, in IRL, in real life, there has been an imbalance. Maybe they weren't giving to you as much as you needed, but at the same time, you've been focusing on that. And as we know, what we focus on is kind of what we get more of. It feels like the potential in this relationship is massive, because I've got cards on the table here, which are amazing cards, to be honest, which tell me, well, let's just dig them out. First of all, we'll go back to the tarot cards. Look. true love. Okay, I mean, we're not messing about. Romance of a lifetime. That is a huge card for potential. I love that card. It's full colour, Technicolor snog card, okay? And with it, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now, do you know where you feel this? In there, not in there. Okay, this is kind of saying danger, danger, high voltage, isn't it? This is saying step away. It's not good enough. It's never going to happen. Stop kidding yourself. You're going to get hurt. Lots and lots of fear-based scenarios going on in your head. The way they feel about you is quiet. Okay, they are quiet. I literally feel a vibe of they don't feel they can be all the way up here. They don't feel that they can meet your expectations. And maybe there's been lots of conversations in this relationship about meeting your expectations or not meeting your expectations, probably I'm feeling. Now, the important thing, you know, because it's not just how do they feel about you, but what can I do about it, I think is the next question. Take ownership of what's yours, is what I would say. And this is a difficult thing for us to do because, again, working out what's ours and what's coming at us from the outside in a relationship is always complicated, because relationships are often complicated because they call on our insecurities. Love brings up anything unlike itself to be healed. But some of the things that this particular connection is bringing up for you is your stuff to be healed, not your stuff to put on to the other person. This person is just, I mean, I've got it here, disillusionment. She wants a knight in shining armour, okay? And sometimes, you know, and we're all guilty of this because we watch rom-coms, and it's a nice idea that someone can sweep in and take away all our problems and be the other half like Jerry Maguire, you complete me, all of that stuff. And then we sneak a look behind the canvas and he's just a skinny guy in board shorts, okay? But he's your skinny guy in board shorts. Or skinny girl in board shorts, okay? And then over here, fear of inadequacy. You want the big mega heart. We all do, of course we do. We waited a long time for it. You know, we're bombarded with advertising and messages, and it should be like this, and looking at Instagram, and they've got that, and happy families and all the rest of it. But it just feels like there's somebody being very quiet at the bottom of these stairs because they feel like, and my mum used to say, they feel like frogs will leap out of their mouth as soon as they say something. So they're frightened. That's how they feel about you. They're frightened. They're scared to disappoint you. They may feel like they don't add up. And this often, if this is a woman asking about a man, inadequacy is something that men are afraid of. They don't like to feel inadequate. They don't want to feel that they can't please you. And then, heart of the fairy oracle, we get the Lady of Sorrows. Now, the Lady of Sorrows is somebody who carries her sorrows with her. And this is a call for you, probably, I mean, we're in Mercury retrograde at the time I'm doing this reading, but things are kind of going to change about the 21st of December. Between now and, well, moving into 2019, really. So for the beginning of 2019, the call for you is to use your intuition, your whatever you want to call it, to find out what sorrows belong to you, what disappointments belong to you. And I'm talking way back. It could be historical. It could be from exes. It could be from anything you like, it doesn't matter. But see if you can go within and find out what is yours, what belongs to you, and whether you can heal that. Because the potential in this relationship is really, really good. I've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the Queen of Pentacles takes ownership. When she's in reverse, again, there is a feeling of being a bit wobbly, a bit off base. And we all have this. It's a very difficult thing. It's a very painful thing sometimes to look at our disappointments. And sometimes when we peel back those layers, how we may have disappointed other people and disappointed ourselves. And that's to do with self-love and forgiving ourselves, because we are but human, all of us, and we're born to make mistakes completely all the time. And relationships generally, you know, are just blundering about making mistakes and learning by it, and love brings up anything unlike itself to be healed. Now, this relationship for you has brought up plenty to be healed, but not by the other person. How they feel about you is a bit like they can't manage it. They want to. The potential is great. Look, worth waiting for and true love. So real connection. But they feel powerless. They feel powerless. And then over here, Mars and Pisces, the Ten of Cups. Yes, gorgeous card. Yes, there can be a reunion. But when you meet back with this person, or when you next meet with this person, if it's someone you're with at the moment, just see if you can find any method, people, guru, self-help book, whatever it is. And there are loads out there, particularly free stuff on YouTube, so that you can identify where you begin and end and where they begin and end. And also, so you're not having to carry these sorrows around with you and bring them to the next relationship, even if it's not with this person. But I have to say, number one, that I have a very strong sense that this relationship still has fantastic potential, because how they feel about you, there is love. There is love. There is feeling of inadequacy, and there is scaredness, whatever the word is for that. They're frightened, but there is love, okay? Your oracle card is Treasure Island. This is the card of getting what you wish for. There is confetti of hearts and stars and all of the good stuff swimming. I love this card, swimming on the turtle, okay? This is the potential. This is what you could have. It's also got a slightly wedding-y feel about it, and I quite, you know, it's a confetti, and I like that. The key to this and how they feel about you is in taking ownership of your own stuff. And of course they've got their stuff, and them being able to have the space to take care of their own stuff and come to you with renewed energy and feel you as a different energy than you have been before. Wow. Okay, if you want a private reading, you can book in the description box. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also check out my other pick a card readings on the pick a card playlist, and leave me a comment, number ones, okay? And I'll speak to you soon. Namaste. Hello, lovely number two. Okay, let's have a look. Of course, I haven't seen any of these cards, so it's quite exciting. Ooh. Ooh. It's quite exciting for me too. Wow. Okay. I bet you felt really, oh my God, wow. I bet you felt really, really, really drawn to number two. There ain't no messing about with any of this. Wow. Okay, the first thing I'm picking up for how they feel about you is that there is a lot of chemistry and a strong sexual connection with this person. No doubt about that. There's been back and forth, there's been defending, and there's been attack. There's been quite a volatile chemistry between you and this person. There may have been issues to do with whether you would have children with this person, or if you or they already have children, about how to combine that fact. or it may be a very strong feeling which you often get with sexual chemistry of wanting to have someone's babies, you know, wanting to have children with someone, whether you do or whether you can, doesn't even come into it. It's that kind of, this is a very primal feeling relationship for me on both sides. Now for them, there is some kind of blockage here. There is some kind of reservation in their feelings that they may have already talked to you about. Chuck Spezzano card is lust. There is lust. There is chemistry. There is sexual connection. But at the same time, I get the Hanged Man. There is some blockage, suspension, or ponderousness on their part. And it could be because the sexual connection is scary, that it somehow outweighs everything else, that they can't think straight, that they want to think straight. At the moment, you may not be in contact with this person. They may not be contacting you. Or they may be being very defensive when you speak to them, behaving in a very defensive manner. Over here, major arcana. So you've got 3 major arcana out of your 4 tarot cards. That's why I was a bit woo when I took the cards at the beginning. You've got the Hermit. It feels like there's some kind of, if you're in a relationship, you're kind of separate but together. Or you're separated from this person at the moment. It feels like they need some time. It feels like they need to work it out. And it also feels like they're trying to separate the sexual connection from everything else so that they can do the right thing by you. You know, to get the Hanged Man and, God, I almost called it the Kermit, the Hermit together, it's quite a powerful sense of aloneness on the part of both these people. This is how the other person feels about you. They need to be alone for a bit. They need to be suspended. They need to call in their defenses. They feel defended. They feel the need to defend. Got the 9 of Wands. This is the card of someone defending themselves, putting up barriers. And again, those barriers could be in communication. They could be in, you know, that they are silent, that they're not available to you. It feels like this person has kind of shut the door and is saying, I'm not emotionally available to you at the moment, or even entirely available to you at the moment. The feelings that you evoke in this person are very powerful. And when I say there's a lot of sexual chemistry, I don't just mean they want to jump your bones, which of course they do, and you probably feel the same about them. But I'm talking deeper, you know, sexual chemistry. Sometimes sexuality between 2 people is a very sacred thing. It goes beyond time and space. It's what takes us out of all our boundaries of being in the world. And that union and connection between 2 people is very, very powerful in the hormones that it makes us experience, in some kind of, almost I get for this spiritual and psychic shift which comes through sexuality with the pair of you. But it's quite overpowering and it's quite hard to handle for this person. And also it feels like they want to do the right thing. It feels like they don't really quite know what to make of it. And some of you, they don't know whether they can fully commit to you if you want children. That's an important point. And some of you, they don't know if they can fully commit to you if you have children, or if they have children, or if children are just in this mix in some way. Now, the next major arcana card is the Tower. Boom. I quite like this because this is needed for you. This is needed for you. You know, when you've got the always called it the Kermit again. When you've got the Hermit and you've got the Hanged Man, and those are big, big major arcana energies in a connection with someone, that's a big block. It's a big hold. And I imagine you're going out of your mind, you know, thinking to yourself, and you can feel all this, whatever you want to call it, energy between you and this person, but it's got nowhere to go. That's immensely frustrating. And what's needed kind of is for the lid to blow. And that's what the tower is. Lightning strikes this tower and you can see the man and the woman like fall down, the tower comes down. This is all the denial and all of the falsehood that may have accumulated in this relationship. This is a heart-to-heart conversation, or possibly a heart-to-heart conversation that may turn into a heated conversation, probably followed by some sex, but it is what it is. But I feel like it's a clearance. I feel like you will know how they feel about you one way or the other once this occurs. And up here, your oracle card is poised. It feels like you're on the brink of a breakthrough with this, which is good whichever way this falls, because you can't stay in the Hanged Man suspended energy forever. You can't stay a hermit or a nun, you know. You're not gonna, why should you do that? Why should you stay in this stuck energy? So it feels like there will be, probably when we get the eclipses, and I would imagine here we've got a lunar eclipse in Leo on the 21st-ish of January. I feel like we're in Mercury retrograde for most of December. Venus is still in the shadow period of its retrograde as well. So try and get comfortable with the lack of communication for the moment. But I feel like we start with a eclipse in Capricorn on the 5th of January. And then we have that eclipse in Leo, the lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse, super moon, boom, emotional, pew, like this. Yeah, pew, like that. It feels like that will clear the air. And then we get giving. That is a gift to you. The truth is a gift to you. Clarity is a gift to you at that time. However it's delivered, okay? And then we get the green woman. Now there is an equivalent green man for the green woman. It's a woman who's very at home with her own sensuality, her own sexuality. And that's you with or without this person, okay? Yes, they bring out that side of you like there's no tomorrow, but that's actually who you are. That's what this person is teaching you as well. So be the greening, be the green woman, you know? Bloom where you are. Don't put yourself on hold for this person. That's not the same. Do what you need to do. Express yourself how you need to express yourself. Be yourself. Be all of yourself. In fact, doing that is what will probably encourage this person to come forward and speak their truth. Wow. If you want a private reading number 2, you can book in the description box. Also, check out my other pick a card readings. I've got a whole playlist of pick a card, and I do daily and monthly readings as well. And do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share the video, and thank you. Leave a comment. Namaste. Hello, lovely number 3. Okay, let's see. I love the fact that I haven't seen any of these. Wow. Okay. Woohoo! Wow. Okay. You know, I mean, I've talked about this a bit, and I feel like number 3, you were perhaps either drawn to, I don't know, I feel like you were drawn to number 1, or you were drawn to all of them and had a bit of a messy decision to make. So yeah, it may be the case that you are drawn to more than one. This is interesting. I talked a bit in number 1 about A Course in Miracles, and love brings up anything like itself to be healed. And the relationship that you are in here, or that you've had with this person, is definitely, it has a karmic quality to it. Now, sometimes karmic relationships feel very difficult because they cause us to go very deep in healing our own issues, and that's what's happening for you and this other person. Some people have a kind of a contract with each other. Some people call that, hello Valentine, my cat Valentine's here by the way, having a wash. Some people call that contract a soul contract. I do get that kind of feeling for this reading. I don't want to necessarily label things, but it feels like there is a connection between the two of you that causes both of you to heal your own family issues. That's the card we're getting here, healing family issues. Your love life benefits you as you forgive your parents. And there is a certain parental feel about this relationship that you want to run to this person, that you may like, and I'm getting this is definitely only for one or two people, but I'm getting a real sense of putting your head on someone's chest and feeling at home. And the kind of people where when we lean on them, literally we feel at home, or the kind of people who feel like home are like a homing person. They often have elements in their shadow side and our shadow side that kind of meet together in this contract to work out certain things. Now, what it often causes in a relationship is friction. And I can feel some of that with both of you, with how they feel about you and also how you feel about them. It's quite a burden for both of you. Here I've got the 10 of Wands. It's a lot to carry each other's stuff. And that's something about the chemistry between the two of you, is about carrying each other's stuff. At the moment, this person that you're thinking of and how they feel about you feels they're not powerful, but they are also dealing with a lot of stuff themselves. I've got the King of Wands in reverse. It could mean, of course, you're dealing with a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius, or just somebody. King of Wands is someone who's in control, who feels, in control of their own destiny and feels powerful. This person at the moment is not feeling that way. They're feeling burdened. How they feel is overworked. They are a workaholic. They work very hard. They're bogged down with responsibility. You may be dealing with someone here who is previously married and they have a family and they have to pay for that family, and they still feel responsible for why that marriage broke down, even though they're probably not responsible, but they feel like they failed. They are bringing failure feelings with them. They are feeling responsible for family issues, their own family issues, and also what goes back a generation for them to their own parents. Both of you, we've got specialness for the Chuck Spezzano cards. Both of you, there's been a blockage with how you can make that other person feel held and special and understood. You really need this person to make you feel held and special and understood, but they're very invested in you making them feel held and special and understood. And that, for both of you, causes this 10 of Wands, which is a difficulty. Now, one of the answers to this, because we've got Chuck Spezzano holding on, is not to hold on to this person, to give them all the freedom. If you're in a relationship with them at the moment, give them all the freedom that you can. If you're wanting to reunite with this person, definitely give them space. And that can be in the form of letting them know that you're there for them, but that your life does not entirely revolve around them. Because both of you could have feelings of wanting to feel special. And it can also bring up for you times when you weren't special to somebody, such as parents, when you had to work for love, when you shouldn't have had to, if you haven't received unconditional love. You're looking to each other for unconditional love, but at the same time may feel unable to give each other unconditional love. You can give this person the feeling or the sense that you are there for them, that you are conditionally there for them. But at the same time, you need to feel loved. You need reciprocity. You need, as an adult, you are not their parent. They are not your parent. You do need certain things to feel safe in a relationship, to feel loved in a relationship. And at the moment, to me, this feels like remaining friends with this person. And I don't just mean friend zone. I mean a true friend to this person while they work these things out and you work these things out. You get the hero as your fairy card. This is both male and female, but also fiercely protective of her heart and her well-being and her journey. And I feel like that's what you need to do with this person. This relationship has the power to be transformed. You get, this could be the one. So yes, there is a very deep connection. This could be the one, and healing family issues. But it's whether you can get through this time of feeling that everything is very heavy and feeling that angry. I can feel a lot of anger in this relationship that the other person hasn't supplied that unconditional parental love to you. As you forgive your parents, as you work through those issues, you won't need them to as much. And in a way, this relationship works a bit like a mirror. The more you need them to make you feel special, the more they need you to make them feel special. And the more you can make yourself feel special, the more they can meet you halfway. It feels like a mirror, that you're a mirror to each other. Major Arcana, you get the Magician, and that is the ability to transform. So if this relationship is in a very difficult place, it can be transformed. It will not be easy. The Magician has the 4 elements of the tarot on the table. He's got the cup, he's got the pentacle, he's got the wand, he's got the sword, as above, so below. And he can be the alchemist. And you too can be the alchemist in this relationship by transforming yourself, by locating unconditional love, by healing family issues, by giving yourself permission to grieve those family issues and not need this other person to grieve them with you or witness them with you. I feel like the relationship has become somewhat mixed up with you two both trying to witness and heal each other's stuff. That stuff for both of you belongs to a long time ago. Over here we've got the 4 of Swords. This is a nice card, a peaceful card, coming to peace. Make peace with it yourself. Make peace with what's happened with this other person and make peace with where you are with it right now. If you can make peace with where you are with it right now, it feels like you will move past that burden or the feelings of being overwhelmed that this person has. We get Unfinished Symphony as your oracle card. This is where you've been at. The 2 of you have been going round and round in this unfinished symphony. But you know, sometimes unfinished symphonies are a piece of art in themselves. Your relationship is an unfinished symphony. If you can accept it the way it is, if they can accept it the way it is, if you can accept yourself the way you are, flawed, bruised and broken and all of those things that most of us are, with all of the experiences you've had, having to work for love, all of that stuff. If you can accept yourself just as you are, maybe they can too. That is an interesting reading, number 3. If you want a private reading, you can book in the description box, but also check out my other pick a card readings on the playlist. Most of them are timeless, and I think you would really benefit from that. And do subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video. And I'll see you soon. Namaste.